I hope that story about Trump's debate prep is true. I doubt
I
it,
mean,
but
well, yeah, it's obviously bullshit. Because I mean, come on. But it's hilarious if true because it worked.
all right. So for the most part, we're just going to be going through the main story now. I've leveled up quite a bit. I have pretty much all the abilities. I'm going to do a few side things, but not that many. I'm just ready to beat the game at this point, more or less, and I have quite a few main campaign missions to go. So we'll see. But I'm I'm gonna try to finish upgrading my pouches because those are really valuable. And of course I'm gonna do outposts, but that's because I kind of have to. It's not part of the main story, but it may as well be. Did you see the donkey video I sent you, by the way?
What?
Did you see the donkey video I sent you?
Yes, very amusing. I miss this guy so much, Lonely Archives, because he hasn't posted a video in like a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a big reason for that is because he got hit with so many copyright strikes that he decided to just cool off before they took more of his videos away. And he used to make a shitload of Yu-Gi-Oh content, but Four
Oh,
Kids
was he the guy who made the edits to be like, if you lose this duel, you'll be my love slave?
and then Yugi Surrenders, yes.
Yeah.
That was one of the ones that he did. He did a ton of Yu-Gi-Oh edits, and Four Kids was not having that, so like that one that I posted is one of the only ones that he had. But it was fantastic because it was mostly just Pharaoh constantly summoning Exodia.
Mansukado!
Triggering exactly and fucking triggering Kaiba's PTSD. So he hit him with that one because Kaiba stole his line. Kaiba. Dun, dun, dun.
Hey, right guy.
Yeah. Very famously, he made a ton of edits where Vegeta's like, "Oh my god, he's so fast," and also that's Vegeta's technique when people would shoot a ton of laser blasts really fast. Vegeta no Wasuda.
Yeah, most
Jeez.
people like that ended up going to other sites like Dailymotion back in the day before Dailymotion, I
Yeah,
think they've
yeah.
shut down.
No, Dailymotion's still around.
Oh, really? Does no one use them
Yes.
anymore? Hey, Alice Carter.
Most of the people who use Dailymotion, because they're far friendlier to copyright violations than YouTube, most of the people that had been using Dailymotion for a very long time were Russians, because it was the easiest way to get around copyrights that a lot of Russians enjoyed using. So once the war started, a lot of that traffic died off, So the website's still there, but very little new content is made now.
I remember when Little Karibo started posting all his stuff over there because YouTube took down like all of his videos for a little bit. Actually. Darkside Phil for a while was like the #1 channel on Dailymotion until he got kicked off for just Dead Space 2 demo playthrough. You watch Hard Bastard? A little bit. I'm not too familiar with most of his stuff, right, guy, but I am familiar with him. I like GB Trollin'. I watch a lot of GB Trollin'. Basically what he does is he goes to TikTok and finds a bunch of insane shitters. And then like does like edits of their videos so you don't have to go to TikTok to watch their stuff. And you get to just laugh at them. It's mostly quote-unquote election analysts who thought Kamala was going to win in a landslide. And then he does, you know, the before-after video and...
Yeah, that's the one that kills me. You know, you see a lot of Democrats talking about how Trump's administration is going to fall apart completely any day now. And, oh, Trump's approval rating is sliding. And then they're posting, like, the same polling methodologies that had Kamala winning Iowa. Like, you people have proven time and time again that not only are you full of shit, but you're insanely full of shit. Why do you expect anybody to believe you? The only thing that they're doing is just desperately cope posting so that other lefties will, like, inhale the copium.
Well, it's like, okay, there is...
It's essentially BlueAnon shit at this point. Like, it's pretty bad.
There is a legitimate slight slippage in Trump's approval rating because prices haven't gone down yet, but I think most people understand that, you know, Trump's not a communist. He's not going to install price control or, you know, government-mandated, you know, price limits or anything like that. He's going to reduce prices by allowing the free market to do so after he cuts waste. That's how he's going to handle things. Of course, if you wanted a communist, you should have elected Bernie Sanders. So you got to be a little bit patient with it.
Right. And the market's been manipulated extensively for several decades. And what Trump's trying to do is get that to have natural corrections. And, you know, just the Biden years alone, there are massive corrections that need to take place. Proper adjustments in a post-COVID world. And especially with USAID funding, like actually trying to find equilibrium once the money spigot's been turned off. You know, it's going to be tough. But in the process, he's also trying to make it easier for new businesses to start up and operate and have access to resources.
Right. So, the only thing that matters is that he lowers prices by the midterms. In terms of, you know, practicality.
That'll definitely happen for the price of eggs.
It's actually amusing. So, apparently, Costco, at least where I live, stocks eggs 3 times a week. I think it's Monday morning, Wednesday morning, Saturday morning. If you are not there Monday, Wednesday, or Saturday morning, you cannot get eggs. They're all gone. So, last time my parents went to Costco, they got 4 cartons of 2 dozen eggs each. So, 96. So, hopefully nobody on stream right now realizes the massive treasure trove I have in my house now.
Yeah. Ready for that warlord economy. When the dollar collapses, it will not be replaced by Bitcoin, but instead by eggs. Eggs and toilet paper. Let's go.
Some dipshit posted a picture of a carton of eggs that cost like $29, but it was 3 dozen. And I guess he thought it was 1 dozen. How do you like your eggs? What's your favorite way to eat eggs?
Scrambled.
Me too, but I do like over medium. I have grown fond of it over medium.
At the end of the day, the important thing to me is just that it's not runny. I hate runny eggs.
I agree with
I
that.
despise them. People give me that shit, I throw it in the trash. Where it belongs.
Hard-boiled eggs are interesting. Peeling them's kind of a pain in the butt, but they're kind of fun to eat. Need that.
It will take some time to inventory all the supplies we captured at the checkpoint. Hey, Kamina Kutta! Why not shot? Quick from where? Unman the machine gun!
Are you with me? No, no, you're not. Save me. They were going to work me to death in their mines, or some hard labor. I wasn't alone. They have other people too. You have to help them.
The NFL is considering a change to the regular season overtime format, which guarantees both teams a possession no matter what. So now, even if the first team scores a touchdown, the other team gets the ball.
So reverting the change that they made to make Peyton stop crying.
No. It would be taking the change to its full limit, where both teams get the ball no matter what.
Oh, so now even if the receiving team on the first drive scores a touchdown, the other team will get a shot.
Correct.
Pretty boring. I really wish that overtime was just sudden death. Because, like, no matter how much fans want to cry, it's Plain and fucking simple. Just don't go to overtime. And if you do go to overtime, then fucking clutch up. If you lose, eat it. Like, what's hard about this? I don't understand.
Yeah, I think the thing that people need to understand is that when a NFL football game goes to overtime, the NFL's philosophy is get it over with as soon as possible.
Yes.
The goal is not to be completely fair. The goal is to just say, okay, this game's already gone on too long. So, yeah. Ooh, that's a nice weapon.
Nice. That means I'm getting a shitload of money. Let me check here.
Gonna cook you alive.
There we go.
This please don't help me.
Please have this.
How about you untie us
Thanks.
now, please?
Get away from
Take
me.
this for
Get
saving
away
us.
from me.
Not this crap again.
Oh no, that's fascinating.
But,
I've been waiting on my third W-2 for quite some time. And I just checked through the Amazon website. I'm not getting a third one.
Everyone you save is another soldier in the Golden Pass, and thanks to you, we have a lot of soldiers now.
why?
I can only assume that they must have included that one into, one of my W-2s is the only thing I can assume. Which makes 0 sense because I don't know why they didn't also roll it over with the other one. Maybe it's because my employment was terminated when I was at that first facility. But then the second and third facilities that I was at, I never stopped working for Amazon, I just transferred. You know? Well, fuck it. If that's the case, then I'm gonna do my taxes and get my refund as soon as possible.
Alright. Sounds good to me, man.
But it's also really upsetting because I probably would have gotten my refund by now if I had done it immediately.
Give me a second.
Damn. Things happen.
Can you free us, please? Mother chod! Sale kutte!
Man. So randomly yesterday I was reading about the DC character Dr. Fate. And he is a lot stronger than they portrayed him in the Black Adam movie. They did him short, man.
Dr. Fate was in the Black Adam movie, really?
Yeah. Because they did not the Justice League, the Justice Society in the Black Adam movie. Yeah, it was called the Justice Society. He was played by Pierce Brosnan, actually.
Oh, that's an amazing casting.
It is.
And he actually looked pretty half decent too. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan of that though, because you know, like you said, they probably fuck him up. You know how incredibly powerful Doctor Strange is
Yes.
in Marvel? Yeah,
Right.
that's Doctor Fate's supposed to be like at least that strong, if not stronger, because the Doctor Fate that we see in the MCU, or Doctor Strange we see in the MCU, is very inexperienced.
Right.
You know, even though he's the Sorcerer Supreme, he's still got a lot of learning and growing to do. So, you know, in 10 in-universe years' time, by then he'll be, you know, super fucking strong. Whereas, the thing about Dr. Fate is that the power's essentially in the helmet, where the helmet is filled with the combined consciousnesses of thousands of years of sorcerers to help whoever takes up the mantle to become Dr. Fate, be strong. Not necessarily that they take over your mind so much as like, it's sort of like being the Avatar, you know, where Aang talked to his past lives for help and advice. And they lend you their power so that you become stronger, and you have help and assistance. Dr. Fate kicks ass, you know, I love that character. So
Yeah. Actually, in the Black Adam movie, he dies at the end fighting, shit, I can't remember his name. Sabak? Or something.
well, again, that's the thing, is that the power's in the helmet, so even if the wielder dies, you know, there could still be a new Dr. Fate.
Right. But I was reading about him, I guess he, like, fought Superman, and he didn't necessarily win at one point, but he did fight him and hold his own. So he's at least that strong, and... yeah, they did him short. But yeah, that was the best part of the movie, honestly. Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. So the Lakers and Mavs played last night with predictable results, and it just made me sad again that we're here right now.
Yeah. It's astonishing that they fucking let that trade happen. Adam Silver's got to be the worst commissioner in the history of professional sports.
He's the worst.
Everyone's,
since the
oh
guy
wow, that sure is bad luck that Anthony Davis got injured in his first game. It's all like, yeah, that's never happened before.
He
Most
gets hurt
injury-prone
like every
player.
game he plays.
Exactly. The most injury-prone player in the league in the last 15 years, and you're surprised that he got hurt. Predictable's the fucking Tides, and you just let this shit happen. It's unbelievable.
You know what? Go ahead and kill me. I fucked this up.
I know the feeling.
Man, Bitcoin went all the way down to 82,000 for a little bit today.
Nice.
I am balls deep. Almost. Also, not that I really care that much anymore, but if LeBron turns Luka into an off-ball player, I'm going to be even more annoyed than I already am.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I may say the N-word. Do you know what the N-word is? Oh no, not that one.
Breaking news. Paul George is taking a break from podcasting to focus on trying to win a championship.
Yeah, very amusing.
Should we tell him?
Yeah, for real.
There's more future in his podcast than there is in his NBA career at this point.
Yeah.
Inbound on your position. Keep the pressure on. Put you in my oven. It has been too long since I have tasted blood. We are coming in from the west. Going to a lower position.
Oh.
Fire at will! I'm on the machine gun! Taking a higher position! Push forward!
Kill that level. God. Gross.
Stop this!
Okay, who the hell is shooting me? There we go. No, not that N-word.
Based.
So apparently the Miami Dolphins have the best owner in the NFL. How do you feel about that?
Out. That's what I pressed. I doubt it. I don't agree. Unthinkable. I wouldn't think of it.
Isn't he the owner that asked Des Bryant if his mom was a crack whore? Or something?
Might be.
I feel like that was a thing that happened.
The Dolphins general manager
Oh, okay.
15 years ago. Jeff Ireland. Jeff Ireland right now is the assistant general manager and college scouting director for the New Orleans Saints.
So he sucks.
Yes. Which makes sense because 15 years ago the Dolphins were hot garbage, and yeah, he was the guy who asked Des Bryant if his mom was a crack whore.
No? It's a simple question, I guess.
Yeah. Now what it makes me think of is when Kramer was teaching karate class, and the parents had to ask if he actually called their children that word.
Yeah, because that's what they're being.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's the thing. Jeff Ireland, big no-no. I think this is a different owner than the one that lots of Dolphins fans made fun of when LeBron left the Heat and went back to Cleveland. The Dolphins owner at the time said that the Dolphins were poised to capture the imagination of South Florida sports fans, and he decided to accomplish that by missing the playoffs for several consecutive seasons. I don't know if it's the same owner that we have now. I think it's different because this guy's making different decisions. But keep in mind, the way that they graded the ownership was just in terms of how the players feel being part of their organization. And I'm not surprised that they're like, "Hey, this is fantastic," you know. Because like the Cincinnati Bengals, that was hilarious that they ranked dead last in the food, cafeteria, and nutrition, and everything. And I'm all like, are you telling me Joe Burrow is this good and he's malnourished?
Yeah, literally worse than prison. Like, what the hell?
But you know, the same way that Lamar Jackson unlocks a new player form after he goes, Joe Burrow unlocks a new player form when he hasn't eaten. I gotta come up with some kind of alliterative nickname. I gotta Google synonyms for hungry.
Ajay, you're just in time. Pagan's broadcast to start.
No clue, brother.
But we're going to find out.
I won't lie to you. I feel 10,000 years old today. Jesus.
I like the idea of the Exodia hologram actually causing like this gigantic space beam.
Exactly. Zodia Final Flash was based.
Did people ever like build their whole deck out of Exodias?
There are many different decks based around summoning Exodia. However, due to limits to how many of the cards you can have in your deck at a time, no one's ever that silly, but it would be a hilarious meme. You can tell that this is AI generated, because, like, no one's eyes actually look like that. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Look at a face, man. It's weird.
It's getting spooky, though. So, you've probably seen this on social media over the last several days. People are starting to spray paint swastikas onto Teslas when they find them in the wild.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so somebody made a comic that had somebody doing it, and then a Giga Chad just gets into the car and drives off with a swastika on the car.
Based. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm all like, man, you know, that wouldn't work on my Tesla.
Sounds like
Jeez.
he's calling us out.
It's
The
pretty
mines.
ridiculous.
You know what to do.
I've spent a lot of my life apologizing for Yuma's first impressions. She has a remarkable ability to make consistently terrible introductions. I'd love for you two to meet on better terms. She really has been the driving force behind most of my successes. She forges deals with my international buyers. She polices Noor and Deplure. She even finds time to run my army. Well, that is until her recent obsession with Kirati superstition took a hold of her. She thinks I don't know about the expedition she's been sending up the mountains looking for magical paintings or whatever it is. I'm as open as the next fellow about negligible losses for the sake of employee morale, but only so many pens can go missing from the stationery cupboard before someone has to lose a hand.
I told you to buy the figure.
People are saying that Trump used his psychic attacks to mentally project himself into Kamala's mind, and that's why she was so bad at speaking, is because she was under constant mental assault.
I mean, it's as good a reason as any other, I guess. No.
How was that? Okay.
Pathetic. Pagan sent some boy like you to kill me? After everything I did for him. Before your horrible mother came along, he was
Oh, how far through the story are you?
could stand up to him.
Let me take a look here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 campaign missions. But I played enough of these games to know that it is overwhelmingly likely that the last few missions are going to be very short because they're probably going to be extremely streamlined and connected to each other in some very close way.
Your mother.
Makes sense.
I want you to go into every room, find every child, not here, to me. I want you to go into every
Fucking quiz!
She weakened his resolve. She turned him into this simpering shell of a man. He stopped being a king that day. He was broken. Weak.
If you love Kirat, you will turn around, go into your homes.
You know what time you're going to tap out tonight?
I have no fucking clue.
Alright. We'll figure it out. Remember that one Grok prompt where Masato was eating shrimp? So Shinji said the ocean called, they're running out of shrimp. And then she called him, you know, the thing.
Yes.
That was a good one.
I lied to myself. I thought he would get better. He had to get better. But no.
Remember the self-destruct lever that looked like a piece of fried chicken?
It stays weak.
Yes,
But
That
Pagan
my favorite.
will not break
That was
me.
legendary.
This country will not break me, and you will not break me.
Ugh. Ugh. What am I supposed to do here? I had to beat an old lady with a stick. Wait a minute, did I just go in a circle? No, I don't think so. Wait, did I? I may have. I think I did. Go. Do it. Aha.
I'm sacrificing a little taste for peace later. You can even get in line.
Bro, you just trashed your Ferrari. It's not mine.
You got me.
What the hell?
Let's stop playing this game. Shokwa. We both know what you really want. No toys in bed. Time to die, AJ Gale. Time to do what Pagan would never do himself.
Donald Trump announces $1 billion investment to lower the price of eggs by combating the avian flu. Brooke Rollins said the Biden administration did not address the flu outbreaks. Instead, they just culled millions of chickens.
Time to kill you and mix your mother's ashes in pain slop.
Yeah, I just read that tweet. It's insanely retarded. It was like, even if you accept what they're saying is true, they traded Luka for Anthony Davis.
Right.
Literally every single concern there is 1,000 times worse when it comes to Anthony Davis. The only worst move that they could have made, considering what they said they were concerned about with Luka, is if they traded him for fucking Zion.
It will never make sense. For the sake of the NBA, I really hope Wembayama is just having a one-off injury this year, because the NBA cannot survive him busting out.
I hope it's not a one-off. If it's not a one-off and he retires, the ratings are going to drop to such an extreme extent, Silver will be forced to step down, and then we might actually save this league.
Amira, Yuma's dead.
Oh, you killed the demon of Durgesh. Don't worry, Ajay. Bacon is next.
So, I don't know if you saw the tweet that I sent you a few days ago, but I guess the whole thing about the Eagles not going to the White House was fake news.
Yes.
So this is going to be very interesting. How many go?
Well, simple. All these stupid retards who were like, haha, Trump sucks, and no one wants to go visit him, blah, blah, blah. They'll just pretend that this never happened, and it'll be forgotten about within weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Just the same slop over and over again every day, day after day.
Oh yeah, did you see the thing? Apparently this isn't going to affect very many people, but Twitch is starting to get rid of their video on demand services. They're trying to slim down, so they're using less server space. So
yeah,
like apparently
they've been doing that for years, and I just don't care anymore.
Oh really? I actually didn't know that. I thought they were always kind of set up to like only save streams for a couple weeks to a couple months at most. Interesting. Oh man, NBA Centel got banned. RIP. That's a tragedy.
Ready for whatever happens. No one to protect the shipment. Hey, don't blame your rotten eggs on... on me. Don't worry who's late. He's in labor right now, Jutia. You find me someone else.
You kidding me? Yeah, at least we're still right next to the tower.
The rebels continue to take over the tower. Enemy sighted!
The following is an announcement from the Ministry of Public Affairs and Social Housing. Beijing Sin urges all loyal Iraqi civilians to stay home during this time of crisis. The threat level from the Golden Path is high, and it is best to limit travel for emergencies and work. For your own safety, may Begin's light shine upon us all.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Get out of here. Oh, nice. They didn't see me. No way they saw me. Oh, nice. That actually worked.
Free me, please. All right. Save me.
Okay. All right. Let's get it. Whatever. Let's do it. Had to know. Kramer told me about the worlds. Alright. Let's just keep on hitting the main story.
Hey, Badra.
Hi.
Or should I call you Tarun Matara?
Badra is good. For now.
What's wrong?
Whoever captures Jalandu Temple will lead the Golden Path. The future of Kirat is at stake, and I'm caught between Amita and Sabal. You've seen them fight, you know how they are. Amita wants to destroy the temple. She says that this will free the women of Kirat and break us away from outdated traditions like the Tarun Matara.
I thought Tarun Matara was a good thing.
Sabal thinks it is. If he captures
I
the
think
temple,
the reason that he doesn't do that is because that doesn't work on heroes, it works on villains. So if Superman did the reverse, the Lex Luthor, then Lex would stop being a supervillain.
Amita and Sabal will never agree, so this leaves you,
I like it.
Archie. You've made a difference here. The Golden Path will listen to you. But you have to understand that whoever you back at Jalandu will become the unquestioned leader of the Golden Path. And once Pagan is defeated, they will control Kirat as well.
Okay. I think I know what I have to do.
Thank you.
So this is kind of interesting given what we were talking about yesterday. You might find this to be a little bit interesting.
Wow! 20, 30, it's for 11 more fucking years. Jesus.
Sabal,
That sucks.
I know.
I hear Amita's ready to move on Jalandu.
How can we... Why are we punishing one of the good ones, man? This is
Yeah.
such bullshit.
Bitch!
So what are you gonna play while you're on lockdown?
Oh, it's going to be Lost Judgment, which is the Yakuza spin-off.
I'm done with her.
Oh, right, I forgot you said that, sorry.
Which
I can't tell you.
It's a good game for me to be playing when I'm a little distracted because I'm not that invested in the story or
He's proud
anything.
of you, you know? We're taking the temple. We're cleansing Badra. We're
Yeah, no
uniting
problem.
the people under the light of Kira.
Hopefully, I'm able to beat the game. I don't know how realistic that is. We'll see what happens.
These things happen.
But I did beat Astrobot last night, so the deck is clear.
I gotta catch up on that. Because I was actually really interested in watching you play that, but I was never able to.
I mean, if you're talking about, I assume you're not talking about, like, the story. You're talking about the gameplay. I mean,
Yeah.
It's a really well-designed game, but it is a platformer all the way through, and except for a couple of rail shooter parts. So once you've seen some elements of it, you have a pretty good idea of what we're dealing with, I think.
Yeah, which is fair enough, but still, I gotta watch that upload on the VOD channel.
Right. Those uploads will
But yeah.
be going up in the next few days.
Which, yeah, Twitch has been shutting that down for a while. Like, it was really brutal because it's not just like the past VODs of like broadcasts. That makes sense. Those could be hours, but they even clear out old clips.
Well, then what's the point
I'm
of the
sure
clips?
Exactly. You know, that shit's been around for a while. Like, I'm sure you remember, because I posted it a ton, of this one Europa Universalis 4 player, Flurry
Yeah.
Worry. You don't
Oh, yeah,
need to
I
remember
remember that.
him. But exactly, when he did the one face for Make the Whole World Jewish, and then he was listening to the Prince of Egypt song, and he goes, Oy vey, no more goyim. was amazing. And, you know, once Twitch announced that they were going to clear out old shit, you know, people thought it was going to be VODs. But this was years ago that it happened, because that specific incident occurred almost 10 years ago now.
Now,
And anytime Flurry Worry does a one face, you know, occasionally I'll pop in and I'll remind him of it.
mhm.
And he's all like, "Oh man, that was so much fun. I missed that clip." And I'm like, "I do too, man."
Well,
But
the thing that I'm wondering, you know how we've talked about this before, where Twitch is not profitable? Amazon is basically just using it as like a loss leader.
yes.
If they stripped down their servers to the point where maybe things would get deleted after a couple of days, like the VODs, would that get them to a point where they could start being profitable? Is that what it's going to take? Because right now, Twitch will store
Well-
streams for up to 2 months.
Well, no, because the only reason that they're able to do what they do in the first place is because they're owned by Amazon, and Amazon's saying, "Hey, we don't want you using up all this storage space on the servers." But it's the fact that they can use Amazon servers in the first place that even makes the business venture possible. So doing that kind of thing would not increase their profit, because essentially it comes at no cost, because it's the company itself that's already conducting the business, you see. Oh wow. Okay, nice. So I do still get paid on Wednesday. That's good.
Because sometimes I do wonder, what's it going to take for Twitch to become profitable? And it almost feels
What
like
it-
it's impossible.
What it would take for Twitch to become profitable is to do the exact same thing that every other streaming service does, which is to require subscription in order to use it. That and increase the price of Twitch subscriptions. But if they did that, it'd kill their business model, because the vast majority of their customer base are children who don't have the ability to do that.
Right.
So they'd be screwed. Essentially, it's just like a big funneling of money around for Amazon, having already invested into it, that makes it work. You know, like Prime subscriptions and the fact that Twitch uses Amazon's infrastructure, so on and so forth.
So, are you confident that Twitch will just last forever despite its unprofitability? Or is there a real chance it shuts down one day and we're just deprived of this service?
Be shut down under the circumstances where Amazon sees no value in it at all, because they run a heavy amount of advertising through Twitch, and all that advertising, because it's an Amazon product, they're essentially able to shunt it away from other Amazon features to put it on Twitch. So that way they're like technically fulfilling their advertiser obligations without actually having to annoy people more, kind of a thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But moral of the story is that I don't know if Twitch would ever be able to be profitable. Definitely only because Amazon keeps it alive that it's even around, as evidenced by the fact that every single other competitor that's ever tried to do anything similar folded.
Well,
Because channel isn't profitable.
Yeah, I don't know how Kick does it because they give almost all the money to the streamer. I'm assuming that Kick just does not care that much about money or something.
Well, I googled it right now. The Kick streaming platform is not currently profitable. However, the company plans to become profitable through advertising within 1 to 3 years. It's only been around for 2 years and 3 months at this point. So that's still fine because let me see here. I gotta see how much money this guy has. Yes, the owner and founder of Kick is 29. So he'd be interested in this kind of thing. And he's got a net worth of $3 billion.
Oh, okay.
So he's willing to piss this away. He believes that he has the ability to make this profitable through advertising, and he said that Kick turned a profit in the previous financial quarter. So maybe it has, but it's been losing money for a very long time, and he's just pissing that money away trying to make it profitable because he's a young billionaire who is interested in this kind of business model. And that'll make sense. But, yeah, it's not,
I'll say if Kick manages to get profitable before Twitch does, then Twitch is, like, embezzling money or something. Oh, shit. Okay, Kick's gonna be around forever. It turns out that this guy, Ed Craven, the reason he's a billionaire is because he co-founded the online casino website Stake.com. And that advertisement is one of the primary profit drivers for Kick. And the whole reason he made Kick in the first place is because he approached Twitch with the desire to advertise Stake.com, and they said, most of our viewer base are children, we're not going to advertise literal gambling to children. So he made Kick so that he could advertise literal gambling to children because the website servers are based out of Australia where that's not illegal. Maybe he thinks you should be able to sell heroin to a 5-year-old.
I would not at all be surprised. So, because Stake is so profitable, he's more than willing to lose money on Kick. Because that's the advertisement. Plus, that's why he does the 95-5 split for subscriptions and everything with streamers, to advertise the big streamers over, so that what are they gonna do on their fucking on their streams? They're gonna advertise Stake.com. You know, even if they don't want to, those are the ads that'll be run when you open up the stream. So you get somebody like Ninja coming over, and all the 12-year-olds that want to watch the Fortnite content, they watch the Stake.com.
Well, kind of scummy, but I guess there are certainly worse things you could be doing.
It leaves a bad taste in your mouth, but it's certainly not illegal. Yeah.
My attitude about that kind of stuff always tends to be pretty laissez-faire. Like, even with stuff like, you know, a crypto pump and dump, some people, you know, take that stuff very personally. And to me, it's, just like it's an extreme form of gambling, and anybody who loses their life savings on a crypto pump and dump, I think, kind of deserves it. I think that's much worse than the person who's running the pump and dump.
Yes. Now, I don't have a high opinion of the Hawk Tua girl, but anybody who actually had their life ruined by being rug pulled by the Hawk Tua girl, by investing their life savings into her shitcoin, exactly like you said, they deserve to have their life ruined at that point. Because somebody at some point was going to hustle that poor bastard.
Yeah.
And hopefully because, think about how embarrassed I was when I fell for that job scam.
Yeah.
I haven't fallen for a scam like that since. And I tried telling everybody I could, because I'm like, this is humiliating for me, but like, I want people to know so that other guys don't get hustled like that. That was extremely humiliating to me. And I've got to imagine that it's got to be at least as humiliating, if not more so, to be somebody who got rug pulled by the Hawk Tua girl.
Right.
Well, at that point, you either have the moment of introspection where you decide, you know what, that was a really retarded thing for me to do. I need to make better choices. Or you just continue to be a victim, in which case everyone else around you will be able to learn what not to do by watching what you do and then doing the opposite.
Can you believe she was going to stop Badra from fulfilling her destiny? She can't stand between the gods.
That's the way I think of it. But yeah, I don't have a lot of pity for those people.
Like, there were some people who were, like, really pissed that Trump was running, a meme coin or whatever. And, I don't love it. But at the same time, it's like, to me, a pump and dump is like extreme gambling. It's going to make some people rich, and it's going to make some people lose a lot of money.
Yes.
You should know what you're getting into. Like, it is possible to use someone else's pump and dump to make a lot of money. It is. You just have to do it right, do it properly, and do it at the right time.
I swear it. You will become Tarun Matara.
Yeah.
God be praised, we're almost free now. Brother?
You asked to see me.
I just wanted to thank you. This moment right here, this is your doing. I promise you, I won't forget the son of Mohan when this is finally over. Your father will be proud. Now listen. The Golden Path.
Oh shit, the breastfeeding a ghost baby girl is one of the presenters for the Oscars this year.
Look around you. This is what Kyrat needs. Stability, tradition, honor. But she keeps...
It looks like she's on her way to becoming like an A-list movie star. Do you think she's ever gonna live down the time she breastfed a ghost baby?
I think that she will be able to live it down by virtue of the fact that, while insanely retarded, Death Stranding, the entire thing, was completely nonsensical. And while I remember that as my most vivid memory of how fucked up Death Stranding was, a lot of different people have different memories of how incredibly fucked up that whole game was.
But a lot of people didn't get far enough to see that.
Yeah, that too. Since you completed the game, you might be able to tell me if you remember, because I can't remember. Didn't it end up being that BB, his bridge baby, was actually like himself?
Yeah, I believe so. It's been a while, and I wasn't paying that much attention by the end, to be honest, but I believe you are correct.
It's just the most pants on head, fucking retarded thing.
Well, the thing is, I feel like that story has now been done so many times it's gotten old. Like, I remember Bioshock Infinite kind of did that, right? Where Comstock was the protagonist and the antagonist.
Yeah. Booker DeWitt, yes, and the multiverses, the future of... Because, he was looking for Elizabeth because he was hired to find her because he's a merc.
Right.
And he has a ton of PTSD from what he did during the wars, plus, selling his child, which, really fucked him over. And Elizabeth is his child. And there's a multiverse diversion where he gets baptized, and he's either accidentally drowned during the baptism, in which case Booker DeWitt dies, or he survives the baptism and then he becomes Comstock.
Or he refuses the baptism and becomes Booker, right? Right? Because there was the timeline where he followed from the perspective of the main character, where he became the mercenary, which was
I may be misremembering. I'll look it up real quick. BioShock Infinite 3. Awesome.
I'm taking some men with me to attack the contemplated.
Robert Latouche approached them on behalf of Comstock, requesting he give us the girl and wipe away the debt, referring to Booker's infant daughter Anna, the origin of Booker's AD branding. Booker reluctantly agreed to sell his daughter in order to pay his gambling debts. He soon changed his mind. He arrived too late to stop Comstock escaping to Rosalind's universe through a tear, closing of which severed the child's finger. Comstock subsequently raised Anna as Elizabeth, his daughter. Due to the severed finger, Elizabeth exists in two realities at once. Her finger in Robert's reality and the rest of her body in Rosalind's. This is what gives Elizabeth the ability to open and create tears at will. Later, Robert, feeling guilt for his actions, convinced Rosalind to help him bring Booker to Columbia in Rosalind's reality to rescue Elizabeth, hence the rowboat at the beginning of the game. Elizabeth explains that whatever actions Booker takes against Comstock will still remain alive in at least one of these universes. The Lutazes have tried to enlist a Booker from different universes numerous times to end the cycle, but the result's always the same. The only way to break the cycle is to prevent Comstock from being created in the first place. Elizabeth transports Booker to the place he went to be baptized and cleansed of his sins after his actions at the Battle of Wounded Knee. Booker avoided baptism at the last moment. You were right. And later fathered his daughter Anna in Robert's universe, while in Rosalind's universe he took the baptism, found religion, became Comstock, and never had children. Comstock, sterile from exposure to the Lutasis technology, was aware of his identity as Booker, and engineered Anna's abduction to provide him with a blood-related heir for Columbia. Booker and Elizabeth at the baptism are joined by alternate versions of Elizabeth from other universes. Booker allows them to drown him, preventing his baptismal choice from ever being made, and thus stopping Comstock and Columbia from ever existing. One by one, the Elizabeths begin to disappear, screen cutting to black before the original does. Post-credits scene, Booker awakens in his apartment on October 8th, 1893. Hearing a baby in the next room, he calls out for Anna and opens the door to her room before the screen cuts to black, because there was a DLC after that, which I don't give a shit about. But yeah, you were right.
See, like, that was great. I loved BioShock Infinite, but it's like at a certain point they keep telling that same story over and over again.
Yeah. Multiverse crap is just too sloppy. So when are you gonna go for dinner?
Probably in like an hour, and I do have that show I need to do tonight on Bleacher Report.
Oh, I forgot that was today.
And then after that, I'm probably going to have to take care of some stuff, but I should be able to stream later tonight. Don't know if you will be here or not. Oh. So, Civil War got nominated for 0 Oscars. Great.
Nice.
They tried so hard to do Oscar baity, we love journalist stuff. And all that for nothing.
Yeah. You'll love to see it.
My favorite part of that movie is how American money is said to be completely worthless because of the Civil War, but Canadian money is still extremely valuable.
Yeah, that's how you know that the movie was made by someone who is an American and is just a completely delusional fuckwit. Because they're right, you know, some kind of crisis to that extent is probably going to result in severe currency devaluations, but that doesn't really mean what they think it does. The idea of Canadian money suddenly becoming valuable based off of what? Do they really think that the United States would fight a civil war and Canada wouldn't get dragged into it? I mean, for Christ's sake, fucking Vietnam fought a civil war, and every country surrounding them got involved. Matter of fact, when it comes to any civil war that's occurred within the last century, other countries surrounding that country got involved. You could say the Serbian Balkan wars and all that kind of shit that was basically just the Yugoslav civil war with the collapse of Yugoslavia. The fucking Korean War, the Chinese got involved. You know, I mean, the millions of different fucking civil wars that have happened in the continent of Africa since the end of World War II. Somebody's always gotten involved, other than just the belligerents. Like, the idea that it'd be the United States' civil war alone that would actually cause nearby countries to not get involved would. It just beggars belief. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking.
Yeah, it would be maybe one of the biggest civil wars in human history.
Yeah. Furthermore, it's just a retarded idea in general, because what happens in any conflict throughout all of human history is that certain resources become more valuable and more scarce, and people trade whatever they consider to be valuable in order to procure those resources. If the US dollar is worthless, that doesn't mean the Canadian dollar is going to become more valuable. What it means is you're going to be reduced to a barter economy. You know, I mean, the news crew in Civil War that are basically the protagonists that the story follows around, they have multiple women in that crew. They're not going to be trading Canadian money in order to get their hands on stuff. Instead, the people who have resources are going to say, let me fuck one of them and I'll give you the food. That's what happens in literally every war that's been fought since the end of World War II. Jesus.
Stratus.
You have artillery rounds incoming. Take cover.
You remember roughly the story of Fallout 4, right?
Yeah, you are a relatively normal person. There's a nuclear holocaust, and you get into a vault, but your child gets stolen from you, and your wife gets killed, and you're trying to find your son.
Right. And do you know, Or rather, do you remember all the different factions that you could join in Fallout 4?
I mean, not in great detail, but there were the Minutemen, right?
Yes.
There were the Institute.
Right.
I can't remember the other two. Was it the Brotherhood of Steel?
Yes, that was one. And then the last one was the Railroad, which
Right.
was they are a reference to the Underground Railroad thing. They're to get synths, smuggling them away from danger to safety. So anyway, what was interesting is that it was confirmed that the Kanan ending for Fallout 4, which actually makes a lot of sense when you think about it, because the two protagonists that you could play as is either the husband or the wife character at the very beginning. And the wife character is a lawyer, but the husband character is a soldier who was a U.S. Army veteran fighting in, who fought against the Chinese in Alaska during some war right before World War III, which was just the single day of nukes dropping.
Right.
So, because that guy is a former soldier, it comes as no surprise that the Kanan ending for Fallout 4 actually is that the protagonist joins the Brotherhood of Steel, and the Brotherhood of Steel wins and controls the Commonwealth.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like that actually makes a lot of sense, because the Brotherhood of Steel was the most powerful military group in the area, and the Institute is a serious threat. So the idea that a battle-hardened Brotherhood of Steel from the events of Fallout 3 would come to the Commonwealth area, and the sole survivor protagonist character is a former U.S. Army veteran. So the minute he gets unfrozen, he's like, that's probably the group that I want to join, the ones that's closest to the U.S. Army. So, you know, he fits in like a glove and all that kind of shit, and then they end up taking down the Institute and taking control of the Commonwealth. That makes a lot of sense. Because I'm playing Fallout 4 right now, and I'm fighting with the Brotherhood, and I'm like, yeah, this is definitely the most interesting story and vibe for sure. And the only people who disagree are because, oh my god, the Brotherhood of Steel and Fallout 4, they're totally Nazis, man, they're evil. And it's all like, this is the kind of group that would actually exist in a post-apocalyptic world, because at that point there's no more fucking retarded, nonsensical ideas of democracy and representative government. When the area is filled with incredibly dangerous, drug-addicted raiders, bandits, mutants, irradiated creatures that have grown to several times. Fuck. In one of the DLCs for Fallout 4, you can go up to Maine and in a place called Far Harbor.
I think I did that one.
Yeah. And it introduces a lot of new enemy types, and it's just like, you know, other creatures in the Fallout universe where all the radiation has mutated them to tremendous size. So one of the enemies you can fight in Far Harbor is a gigantic hermit crab that literally uses a discarded bus as its hermit crab shell, and the thing is the largest enemy type in the entirety of the game. I didn't know that that was a thing, and I encountered one the other day and I nearly shit my pants. So if things like that are running around, and you know, instead of living in buildings, they end up making the most powerful city in the Commonwealth is Diamond City because it's fucking Fenway Park, and they use the Green Monster as a protective wall to keep out the raiders. You know, in a universe like that, when a bunch of guys wearing power armor show up and they're like a highly militarized group, that's the law. That's the authority. That's who people are going to follow because they want to fucking feel safe.
What's left of it?
Sandra is safe, and that's all that matters. As long as she's alive,
Ugh.
the people will still have hope, brother. I need to show everyone that this sacrifice wasn't in
Yeah.
vain.
You know, it's like that thing we were talking about with Gladiator a couple months ago, where during that time in history, people didn't really even want a democracy because it had no chance of working. So, like, that's something that the Gladiator does that is trying to update its story for a modern time, but it doesn't really work within the time of the actual movie. I don't know if it's a bad thing. It's kind of like, you know, the Odyssey updating its uniforms to be what people expect rather than what would have been historically accurate.
Like, yeah, I'm sending you these pictures now, you know, like a third-person perspective of the thing. Like, and then the concept art. The thing's fucking huge. You know, you're playing in first person, you don't expect it, and then that fucking thing comes running at you. I was like, holy shit.
Poop my pants and have sex. Have sex.
Exactly.
Even Stephen A. Smith just tweeted out, R.I.P. Centel.
Yeah. Out of everybody who I expected to reveal themselves as a Groyper, it was not Stephen A. Smith.
The IRS is closing over 120 offices in the U.S.
Based. Also, what is Centel?
Oh, they're the fake NBA Central Twitter account that always posts, like...
Oh, yeah, the memes. Okay.
That always gets people because it looks so much like the official account, and the stuff they post is just kind of weird, but not entirely unbelievable.
Alright. Yeah, sure enough.
Like, back in the day, Delonte West had sex with LeBron's mom would have been a Centel tweet. And then people would have been like, whoa, wait a minute, was that real? Because the NBA is a weird sport, man. Some of the stuff that happens seems like it can't possibly be real, but half the time it ends up being real. Like, even the stuff that gets caught on tape, like Jermaine O'Neal nearly killing that guy during the Malice at the Palace. Like, literally threw, like, a legitimate boxer cross right into his face. Like, that guy's very lucky he didn't die on the spot.
Yeah. A lot of people's retarded decisions make zero sense to me, but I'm here for it. One thing that really annoys me in Fallout 4 is that if you pump up the difficulty like I have, you know, because it's a Bethesda game, the only thing that happens is that enemies get super tanky and they do more damage, you know, whatever. Like, that's to be expected. But the problem is that it makes heavy weapons literally useless because you can't improve their damage.
Yeah.
And they do an absolute fucking shitload of damage, but by spiking the difficulty, it makes it so that enemies, they don't take the damage that they're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
No. So because you can't upgrade heavy weapons, like, I literally shoot a mini nuke at a super mutant warlord's face, and he just eats it, and it's like a tiny fucking amount of damage.
Well, how do
And I'm
you
like,
kill him given that? Like...
well, you use regular weapons that are upgradable, because then you do more damage. So I'm sitting here like, you're telling me that I shoot this thing with a mini nuke in the face, and it does less damage than if I take out my highly upgraded fucking sledgehammer and just smack him? Really?
Well, I guess what you could do is get another mod that allows you to upgrade heavy weapons, right?
Yeah, and I'm already running plenty of mods on this playthrough, but I don't want to download another mod just to make these weapons stronger. I just don't use them.
Yeah, like,
but I'm like, it's just so disappointing that you don't get the opportunity to enjoy the game the way that you want to, because I'm like, because of how scarce the ammo is, I want to pull it out in a situation where I'm like, this is gonna, you know, it's gonna wipe everything out. But I can't do that very often. But I'm like, this is the perfect opportunity, and then, you know, you use it and nothing happens.
Yeah, it's like...
And I'm like, well, my guy's highly upgraded to do extraordinary amounts of unarmed damage, but even though it says unarmed, what it basically means is any weapon that uses punching as an attack, and that also includes some weapons, so it's not actually unarmed. You know, so I upgrade the damage that I do with that, and then I also invest my skill perk upgrade points into using more unarmed damage, and then I upgrade at a weapons workbench the weapons so that they do even more damage. So then, like, I'm sitting here like, literally, I taped a bunch of fucking nails to a boxing glove and it does more damage than a missile. That's just retarded. You know, like, yeah, you upgrade your ability to do damage with melee weapons, and you do more damage with a board with a nail in it than a fucking laser gun. That's just so stupid.
Yeah, it's kind of like in Payday 2, I ran into a problem kind of like that. Not exactly, but it's in the ballpark. Where while you're doing like these heists, sometimes you can find these random little bundles of money that are worth like $1,000 that you can pick up while you're doing the heist. Like in the bank, there's little pieces, there's bundles of money laying around everywhere. So on harder difficulties, what happens is that the heist money that you get scales, but the bundles of money don't. So now those little bundles of money are completely useless on higher difficulties, not even worth going out of your way to pick up, right?
Right.
So I downloaded a mod that just made them scale along with the heist. So now it was actually worth it to go pick up the money, because now it's like, oh, it's 30,000.
Right.
Call for help's going out. Our outpost is under attack. Any golden pass in the area, please respond.
boat's just a boat, Lois, but a box is a box. A box could be anything.
Come back! I don't know what we would have done without your help. That was close.
Hey, you alright?
I don't know how I survived that.
Hey, don't go!
Namaste, Ajay. Thank you for your help. The animals never used
Oh man, that was really funny. I've got Paladin dance with me while I'm doing his Brother to Steel quest, and this guy's a sergeant, and he's all mad. It was like he's yelling at your character, but since Dance is there, he's like, "Watch your tone, Sergeant." The guy's like, "Yeah." That was funny.
Man, I hope Fallout 5 is good. We need
Oh, it's gonna suck too, because they're gonna fucking use R-Slop as the fucking prototype for it, just like they're doing with Elder Scrolls 6. I can't believe Todd actually thought that was a good idea.
I didn't even dislike Starfield, but why would you do that? Like, that's such a brain-dead thing to even consider doing. Like, New Vegas and Skyrim, and Fallout 4 for that matter, are all very obviously more successful games than Starfield will ever be. Why would you not try to emulate the thing that was actually successful? It is really confusing. I'd be fascinated to know the justification there. I really would be. Okay, sandbar.
Ah.
Oh. I didn't know this, actually. You probably knew this, but I actually did not.
That makes sense. No, I didn't know this, but see, the funny thing is like they constantly, never unending, constantly fucking talk about how Trump is so evil and he constantly fires all these mean people and oh my god, he just wants his own loyal people around him. And it's like, yeah, duh, no shit, because most of the people are there literally to spy on him and obstruct him as much as possible. But obviously Trump is well known for firing people, but they don't pay attention to the fact that he rewards loyalty a lot. Just look at Rubio. And, you know, all you need to do is just, like, literally do your job properly, and the guy's going to take care of you. Because I'm sure that, you know, while he was still candidate Trump, that guy probably gave him a bunch of shit for actually doing his job, because you're not supposed to protect Trump, especially not when their asset was trying to kill him. But, you know.
I still think that's a very interesting job to have, the mentality where literally, admittedly it doesn't happen very often, but there will be occasions where your job is literally to be a meat shield and let yourself get killed so the person you're protecting doesn't get killed. Like, it's a very interesting mindset that you must have to do that. You know? I guess it's not that different, though, than being, you know, a firefighter or something. It's a little different.
Yeah. So tomorrow's my 6th day gas station thingy.
All right.
And then Friday is a day off.
Yeah, I will certainly be busy for tomorrow. I can tell you that.
And yeah, that's fine.
For assorted reasons. But yeah. Again, I'll probably stream more later tonight. We'll see. So this might not be the end for a little bit, but it could be. And have yourself a good time. You.
The following is an announcement from the Ministry of Public Affairs and Social Harmony. Iraq needs you now more than ever. The Golden Path Reign of Terror has epidemic proportions and must be stopped. Pagan Min himself urges you to enlist with the Royal Army to stem this tide of evil. Join him and put an end to this tyranny. The Pagan's light shine upon you all.
How do we keep going up here?
Heads up! Eagle attacking!
The following is an announcement from the Ministry of Public Affairs and Social Harmony. Do not loot the bodies of fallen Royal Army soldiers. Their weapons and equipment are the property of Pagan Min. Taking these items is no different from robbing our great leader. Any civilians found looting Royal Army bodies will face arrest and swift punishment. May Pagan's light shine upon you all.
Alright, no problemo. Oh, okay. I see. Elizabeth Francis, the oldest person in the United States, has died in Houston at age 115.
Poor lady.
Old enough to see Hitler. And
Based.
And Ninja in the same lifetime.
That's a great point. Let me look it up for a second.
I'm so happy to see you.
One 116 years ago was 1909. So she might have had some memories of what World War I was like, but yeah, her first memories that she'd really be able to retain would be like in the 20s.
Lived through Al Capone and Kai Cenat. Are bullet rounds actually made of brass, or do they just call it brass as shorthand? Like like a sniper rifle.
The bullet is not made out of brass. The shell casing.
The shell
is made
casing
out of brass.
is, okay. So it's not just shorthand, it's actually, okay. Makes sense.
A typical bullet usually has a lead core. But some bullets nowadays are being made without lead because extraordinary amounts of lead poisoning and radiation coming from firing ranges. For instance, it's extremely dangerous to live near a military base and that have firing ranges out there. If you go to the wrong area, you could suffer severe amounts of lead poisoning and radiation from all of it. So it's a lead core, which is what's actually doing the damage. Then the if it's a full metal jacket, that jacket's made out of copper. But if it's not a full metal jacket, it's usually because it's got a some kind of hollow point or maybe like a split tip, which is designed for when it encounters the target and hits muscle, flesh tissue, starts to expand out. But yeah, the shell itself was made out of brass. Yeah, worried about because like lead was cheap and effective, but worried about lead poisoning has caused some rounds to be a steel core. They make nowadays. I'll show you a little diagram thing. Bullets are much smaller than the actual cartridge that you load into a magazine, because the vast majority of that shell casing is holding the gunpowder that actually propels the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why rifle rounds actually have a cartridge that's so long, is because rifle rounds are supposed to travel at a much, much higher velocity than a handgun round. Handgun round is much, much smaller. That's how you make it so that, because some armies that have focus on winning through logistics, like NATO armies, United States focus especially, you know, we use a smaller rifle ammunition, because if your standard 5.56 round, you know, the civilian diameter, you know, the actual diameter designation is 223, which means it's a 22 caliber, which is like the smallest kind of fucking round that's used in a firearm. And if it hadn't have been for, you know, the extraordinary velocity that it travels at, the thing would be extremely much less powerful than it is now. You know, comparing the standard 5.56 round that's been used by the U.S. military since the adoption of the M16 during the Vietnam War, all the way to today. But if it was a handgun, it'd be a tiny little 22 pea shooter, you know, versus the incredible lethality of an actual 5.56 round in a military. But they like it that way because since it's so much smaller, it can carry so much more ammunition.
My bees! Won't somebody please think of my bees? They're going to be exterminated. I need help.
Anyway, why you bring it up?
Oh, no particular reason. I was just thinking about it randomly. It occurred to me that I don't know, actually. Okay. Alright.
The world is reliant on bees. If they're allowed to die, none of us will last much longer.
Alright, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream now.
Bees.
Go do stuff until my Bleacher Report stream tonight, and then after that I will be back on Far Cry in all likelihood. Maybe not immediately, but I'll try to beat it tonight. That's the goal. It's
Well,
ambitious.
remember, even if you do beat it, you're going to have to do the restart another run so that you actually stay there the whole time,
right,
to do what is considered the meme ending, but that's actually the canon ending to the game.
Right. All right.